Well, it's 9:02, 2 minutes after the hour, right when I said we get this show on the road, so let's do this. Welcome to INA's Post-Summit webinar series. Today we are lucky to have Pat Cassidy and Reliance Standard Life with us today. They're going to present big business opportunity in the small business market. Reliance Standard has I believe, to be a very unique product, and I think after today, after you look at this, you'll agree with me that this is a very unique product. It's designed for the small group, and it'll help you folks continue to stay in touch with that sub-20 marketplace. Right now, I'm going to hand this over to Pat. Pat, you're with me, correct?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So
Okay.
I'm going to make you the presenter. Yes, I'm going to make presenter. Pat Cassidy. Okay. So you got to answer a few questions on your end, Pat, and then we'll be able to look at your presentation today.
Okay. Trying to bring it up here.
Cooking with gas now.
There you go. All right, Mike, you want me to start then?
Get this thing on the road. Yeah, let's see what we got for us.
Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you about our small group program, the Smart Choice program, and how it fits perfectly into a huge marketplace out there that is very much in need of what this program can provide to them by way of benefits. Just a little background, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy days to tune in here. But I have over 25 years experience in the benefits marketplace, particularly focusing on small business benefits. Those 25 years have been prior to Reliance Standard, have been with companies like GE Financial, Union Fidelity Life, and Dun & Bradstreet Plan Services. I joined Reliance Standard to start the 2004 year, and I was brought on board to build a small group program for Reliance Standard. Reliance Standard is one of the top 10 group disability and group life carriers in the marketplace, but they felt that they were missing the mark to a large degree in the fact that they did not have a viable small business benefits program to offer. So I came on board and basically was given carte blanche to build a program. In prior stops in my career, I came on board, be it GE or be it a Union Fidelity, etc., and was welcomed on board as a sales leader, sales manager, basically given the keys to the sales vehicle and told to drive it to the finish line. With Reliance Standard, I was given an opportunity to actually build that vehicle from the spark plugs on up. So it was quite an experience for me. And once built, then it was up to me to bring it to partners like Insurance Network America so that we could effectively partner together in distributing this program to the marketplace. But I would think that you see my first screen up there, and I know that you have it up there, Mike?
Absolutely, and I also want to
Okay.
remind everybody out there that if you have a question while Pat is speaking, just go ahead and type your question in. At the end, we will try to make time to answer those questions. So go ahead and throw those questions at us as they come up. Thank you, and Pat, let you take off again.
Okay. The official title of this webinar is Big Business Opportunity in the Small Business Market. And as you see there, my lead slide is that the Smart Choice is the right choice. Smart Choice is the name of the program that I came up with. because I really do believe that when small business owners understand what it can do, they really do think that it is the right choice to make the smart choice and have smart choice benefits for their small business. But I think it is certainly the right choice for your small business clients and prospects, and certainly can help your business growth, and that's what we're all certainly interested in. So let me proceed. Let's talk about the market. I don't want to spend your time this morning throwing a lot of statistics at you, so just from a high level, what we're talking about is a marketplace that, even though the Smart Choice program goes 2 to 19 lives, where it can be of most help to you with your clients and prospects is in that 2 to 9 segment. And that 2 to 9 segment is huge. Roughly over 6 million businesses that would have 2 to 9 employees. And not only is it huge, but it's in dire need of benefit protection. Less than 10% of those 6+ million businesses have any kind of disability coverage. Less than 25% have any kind of group life coverage. So even though it's a small business market, it does provide a huge business potential, and it's right there and often overlooked, certainly by producers, but also by companies. We don't have a whole lot of competition in that 2 to 9 marketplace, because most companies are targeting mid-size or large-size groups. But our focus is strictly, squarely on that 2 to 9 marketplace. And a huge need, or a huge market with a huge need. I mean, small business owners, they are America's entrepreneurs. They make the economy go, despite what you might hear sometimes from our mainstream media or Washington, D.C., but the small business owners are really the engine of America, and they understand risk. They've taken steps to protect their buildings, their equipment. They've taken steps to protect the health of their employees. On a personal matter, they've taken steps to obviously insure their homes, their cars, their equipment, etc. But the most important asset is often has been left uncovered, and it's not because they consciously, they meaning the small business owners, have decided that's not important. They just haven't heard that they could have their incomes and the incomes of their key employees covered to the degree that we can cover it. So our role here is filling that need in that huge market, and that's protecting the most important asset, and that is the ability of business owners, small business owners, and their employees to continue earning a paycheck. So we have a market and we have a need, and what I want to spend your valuable time this morning is just outlining a solution. Again, my goal in building Smart Choice was to combine a very strong benefit program with a very simplified approach and a very efficient marketing system. No one wants to spend more time than they absolutely need to take care of a 3 or 4 person small group. I recognize that, and so I've tried to build something that would be strong but simple. And the solution starts with, as I said, very strong benefits, which we will outline in a second here. Combining that with a wide applicability or flexibility. You can take this program and you can apply it to just about any small business situation, and we'll outline that in a second as well. Plus the process, as I mentioned before. If I build a program and it's requiring any of you to stand on your head to get a client or a prospect covered, then it's not going to work. It needs to be very easy, very quick, and very seamless. Your time is too valuable. So it's a strong benefit, very flexible, very easy process, very quick turnaround. Once that case is submitted to us, we'll have, in fact, you can submit it into Insurance Network America, and they within minutes would have a policy number for you. And this business is persistent. I know a lot of you are spending more time than you need to spend on maintaining current businesses because of renewal adjustments, etc. Well, this is an opportunity for you to get into a marketplace where that is not, the renewal headaches are not part of the deal. And we have a compensation program that I think matches up with any other program out there. Again, this is all designed for you and to help you become successful and to grow your business. All right? So let's take a look at the the 4 different components of the Smart Choice program. The first component is our long-term disability plan. This is our lead coverage, and I think you'll see why as I go through the benefits. But we, across the board, from Portland, Maine to Portland, Oregon, we are selling more LTD than any other coverage. It starts with the fact that it's a 100% guarantee issue, no questions asked. And the benefits, very simplified again, the strong benefits. You get 60% of earnings up to a maximum benefit of $7,500 a month. Basically, we will insure anybody's salary up to $150,000, okay, on a guarantee issue basis. No evidence of insurability, no medical questions at all that are asked or required. What really separates this product from anything else out there is the fact that in addition to it being a guarantee issue coverage to $7,500 a month, we also pay benefits if someone goes out during their first year due to a pre-existing condition. We may be the only ones in this marketplace that would offer such a benefit. That benefit is basically half of what they would normally get, payable for 12 full months. So if somebody's 60% of one's earnings equals $66,000 a month, and they sign up and they go out within 2 months because of a third heart attack and they've been nursing for years, we are the only ones that would actually pay a benefit, and that benefit would be a $3,000 per month benefit payable for 12 months. Okay, so you have the combination of guarantee issue plus a benefit payable for a pre-existing related, condition-related disability. All of our LTD program, our LTD program across the board, whether you are looking at a doctor's office or whether you are looking at a home builder, we have a standard 3-year ONOC disability definition. The standard for the industry for a small business is a 2-year ONOC or less. So you are ahead of the game for the most part with the fact that we have standardly in all our contracts and all our policies, regardless of the nature of business, a 3-year ONOC disability definition. We also employ a 0-day residual benefit. That has to do with the fact that during an elimination period, and I'll talk about elimination periods in a second, you can satisfy the elimination periods, or an insured employee or small business owner can satisfy his or her elimination period with partial disability. They don't have to be totally disabled and totally out of work. They can be partially disabled, back to work on a part-time type basis, and that would satisfy the elimination period. Our benefits are payable to Social Security normal retirement age. So it's not a 2-year benefit or a 5-year benefit. It's a benefit that potentially could be payable to age 65, 66, 67, whatever that individual's retirement age would be deemed by the Social Security. And the elimination periods, we have the standard 180-day elim, standard 90-day elim, but we also have the not-so-standard 60-day elim. And that comes into play where situations where small businesses might not have a workers' comp benefit. Our short-term disability benefit is non-occupational only. They might want to have, they can more or less self-insure their short-term disability needs, and then after 60 days, they have the LTD benefit kick in. You don't often find a 60-day elim for groups of 2 to 9, but we have it available to you. And our LTD program does offset with, say, Social Security, other group-type benefits, but does not offset with an individual DI benefits. So that's important to note. Some other options in this marketplace would tell you that there's, hey, if you're going to receive a benefit from an individual DI plan, well, then there's a direct offset with the group plan. We do not have that. We do not offset with any individual DI coverage. Yes?
It does. I do have a question that popped up along this is, does it coordinate with state DI benefits? Any difference in an individual?
No, it does offset. If there's a state benefit, it would offset with that as well.
Okay.
All right, and I think that question may be more appropriate when we talk short-term disability. All right.
Okay.
Especially for those that are the audience today that are in states, whether they're in New York, New Jersey, California, Rhode Island, I think Hawaii, where there is an existence of a state a program for short-term disability. That if those benefits are being paid when somebody is out on long-term disability benefit, there would be an offset there. All right, but I'll touch on that when we talk about STD as well. The last point to make on LTD is that if there is already existing coverage, our takeover we refer to as a transfer. Typically on a takeover there's a no loss, no gain, but I've seen it happen where the Smart Choice plan is brought in to replace another company's plan, and there's actually, well, by transfer we mean that they're actually stepping up. They might have only had a 2-year ONOC, now they have a 3-year ONOC. They might have been limited to a $5,000 or $6,000 a month benefit, now they can get up to $7,500 a month. So it's actually, when we say transfer as opposed to takeover, we're not talking no loss, no gain. Usually it is a gain, and that's important. But the combination of a guarantee issue benefits to $7,500 a month, the fact that we will pay for disabilities in that in the very first year, our pre-existing limitation is a 12-12. So if there's a disability in the first 12 months due to something that a condition that was treated in the prior 12 months, we are the only ones out there that would say we would still pay a benefit for that disability. The fact that it's the 3-year ONOC, 0-day residual, all that combination basically has our Smart Choice LTD benefit leading the way in that small group LTD marketplace. So just take note of that, please. Now, moving on to STD. STD is also a 100% guarantee issue, and you can get up to with 1,500 hours a week in benefits. Okay? There's also a pre-X condition benefit, where LTD was a 12-12, STD it's a 3 months prior, 6 months after pre-existing limitation. If someone goes out in the first 6 months due to a condition that they were treated for in the prior 3 months, there would be a benefit. It's not a huge benefit. It amounts to a $50 benefit per week for 5 weeks, or our custom is that we would cut a check for $250 immediately on a disability claim that's deemed pre-existing. And that's so $250 is not a huge benefit, but it's $250 more than any other small group short-term disability carrier would provide a small business owner or employee. All right. There's one elimination, and that's a 0-7. You do have a choice of either a 13 or a 26-week benefit period, and you have a choice of what kind of benefit you would want. On LTD, you had one benefit, 60% of earnings. On STD, you have a choice. You have 50, 60, 66 and 2/3, 70% of earnings, or a flat amount. So you have more of a choice with the benefit structure for short-term disability. In those states that I mentioned a minute ago, New Jersey, New York, California, Rhode Island, and I believe Hawaii, where there exists a state-mandated short-term disability program, our benefit is limited to 20% of earnings. So it's a 20% of weekly earnings benefit, but that's payable in addition to the state benefit. It doesn't offset with it. It's paid in addition to. And I think that was one of the questions, Mike, that you might have been alluding to. All right. With our short-term disability, maternity is covered as any disability. Not all options in the small group marketplace for short-term disability coverage would allow for maternity coverage. Two things they run away from is if you mention a pre-existing condition disability, or certainly maternity, they don't want any parts of it, but we will cover that in full, maternity coverage. And likewise, our takeover is really a transfer. They might have a short-term disability plan, but it doesn't cover maternity. So if they move to Smart Choice, they are actually transferring to our benefit platform, and it really is a gain as opposed to a no loss, no gain. And short-term, our short-term, aligns with our long-term. I mean, you can have a 13-week benefit period for short-term with a 90-day elim on LTD, and there's a continuation of benefits there. Or you can have a 26-week benefit aligned with a 180-day elim, and there's a continuation. And remember, you have a third choice where maybe the short-term doesn't fit. There's issues. Maybe the owners don't qualify for workers' comp. You then have the option of doing, hey, let's just, hang in there for the first 2 months, self-insure perhaps, and then have the long-term disability benefit start when that's after a 60-day limit. The third coverage that we have is our group life, and really the key to note about our group life is the guarantee issue amounts that are available. For your small business clients and prospects of 2 to 5 lives, you can provide $50,000 of guarantee issue life for them. Groups of 6 to 9, the guarantee issue amount is $75,000. 10 or more, it's $100,000. The maximum benefit available, the minimum is $10,000, the maximum is $200,000. So you can have a 3-person group. You can apply for $200,000 of life for the 3 employees. We're going to issue the case very quickly at 50, and that's the only time we're asking for evidence of insurability is life coverage applied for that's over that $50,000 amount if it's groups of 2 to 5, if it's over the $75,000 amount for groups of 6 to 9, and if it's over $100,000 for groups of 10 or more. But we will issue the case at those respective levels with those guarantee issue amounts. and the balance would be then subject to evidence of insurability in our underwriting decisions. With our life, AD&D, including an additional $10,000 seatbelt benefit, AD&D, plus an accelerated death benefit are all part of the premium. You get a quote back from Insurance Network of America. You're going to have one premium, and that's inclusive of and one rate and one premium, and that includes the AD&D and the accelerated death benefit. You don't get a separate one. It's all part of that. And finally, with our life, we only have one benefit reduction, and that's a 50% benefit reduction at age 70. We don't have any benefit reductions at age 60 or 65, etc. So makes life simpler, and it's actually more benefit there for a longer time. So our life, especially because of the guarantee issue amounts, have allowed us to write a lot of life insurance in small businesses across the country. The last benefit component of Smart Choice is our dental plan. Reliance Standard is not a dental carrier. Let me make that clear up front. Reliance Standard is a disability and life company or carrier. Our dental, though, is through Emeritus Life out of Nebraska, and we've had close to a 20-year partnership with them. Our dental looks in every bit Reliance Standard. It really is, though, the back office is with Emeritus in Nebraska. Not to spend a whole lot of time on dental, but you have 3 basic plan designs to choose from and to build upon, meaning you can have elect to have a 1 or 2 year rate guarantee. You can elect to have a network discount plan or a non-network discount plan. And if you have a non-network discount plan, you have a choice of either an 80 or a 90% UNC out of network. You can have your choice of having endo and perio in basic or major. So you have some flexibility, and that's what that means about, to build upon. You have a choice of 1,000, 1,500, or 2,000 annual max. So you have some flexibility in designing a plan for your small business clients and prospects. There's several real big advantages of our dental, working with Emeritus with our dental plan, other than certainly their expertise and their tremendous claims paying ability. They have an exceptionally strong nationwide provider network. So where that network is strong, you can exercise and use a lot of discounts in setting up a program. One of the unique features of our dental plan is our basic services step-up incentive benefit. And on our middle plan, our Plan B, we start off at 180/50, 100 preventive, 80% coinsurance for basic, 50 for major. But the basic coinsurance arrangement of 80% for any insured, employee or dependent, who goes for any procedure to any provider, then their basic coinsurance goes from 80 to 90% for year 2. And in year 2, likewise, they go to a dentist for any covered procedure. It doesn't have to be major, it could be just a cleaning. Their basic coinsurance for year 3 would go from year 2 to 3 would go from 90 to 100%. So a 180/50 plan, year 1, would become, for those that are using their dentist, a 100/50 plan in year 3. That's what that step-up incentive means. Also in Plan B, you have an ortho benefit that's available to small businesses after a 2-year wait. And that is for all insured, so it's including adult ortho. So you can have this Plan B again. It starts at 180.50. By year 3, it's 150. You've had a 2-year rate guarantee if you select it, so there hasn't been any rate adjustments. And in year 3, ortho kicks in for everybody. So that's we found that to be a unique plan out there in the marketplace, and that's what we sell the most of. You also have a vision care option. It's a group option. So you can't pick and choose. It can't be one employee wants vision, the other doesn't. It has to be applicable to the group, and it's basically a scheduled plan that can be used anywhere. And finally, with our dental, we have what's referred to as a max reward carryover, where the benefit could increase based on how much the plan had been used in year 1. If year 1 your max was 1,000, you can get up to 250 added to that benefit in year 2 based on how much you used the plan in year 1. Okay, but to summarize our dental, I mean, we aren't dental experts, but we rely on our partner Emeritus, and they have helped us deliver a very valuable small business dental plan. Okay, that's the benefits. Now I just want to take a minute to talk about the flexibility or the applicability of this small business plan. Smart Choice can be applied to just about any business. On the surface, over 90% of SIC industry types are eligible. So like I said, we'll write we'll provide coverage to the engineering firms and to the lawyers and to the accountants and the doctors' offices, but we'll also provide it to the building contractors, to truckers, to plumbers, et cetera, et cetera. So we have a wide range of industries that we welcome aboard. We also make a great use of carve-outs. We can go down to 2 lives on a carve-out as well, we don't. Doesn't have to be a mom and pop shop out there. If you have a 30, 40, 50 person group where you want to take the 3 managers and carve out on a guarantee issue basis, we can do that, and we do that just every day of the week. We also can write a management carve out in the 10% of SIC classifications that are ineligible. So in essence, we can provide you with a quality a benefits tool that you can basically apply to any type of business anywhere. Also, Smart Choice can be written on a 100% employee paid basis. 100% employer paid, sure, but also can be 100% employee paid. That gives us an advantage as well. Many other options in this market require a minimum employer contribution. We do not. We also don't require or don't have any family content restrictions. So if you have a small group that you're thinking of right now and you say, well, the problem with that is it's a family business, it's a husband, a wife, and 2 sons that are running this business, that's not a problem for us. We accept family-related businesses. We do not have any average age restrictions either. So don't be concerned if you have a group that, the average age is over 55 or 60. It doesn't, we don't restrict our the ability to provide coverage to groups in that description. And also, we accept most home-based businesses. Most companies run away from home-based businesses. We will decline some home-based businesses, but I guess, where we get a little antsy is a home-based business, since we are down to 2 lives, since we do cover family businesses. If you have a husband and wife computer consultants that work 100% of the time in the house, well, for disability purposes, we might shy away from that because of the difficulty in managing a disability that would come from that scenario. But bottom line is, you can take Smart Choice and you can basically bring it to any one of your small group clients or prospects, either on a full coverage basis or possibly on a management carve-out. The process, very streamlined process, as I mentioned before. It all starts with your support that you get from Insurance Network America. Mike and his team will provide a proposal back to you at the drop of a hat. So that's number one. Go to Mike and his team, and they'll be able to respond to you very quickly with what you need, the proposal, and a very simplified application where you only need to get one signature on the application, and that's the business owner. If you got a group of 8, you don't have to track down all 8 people. You have the owner sign the application, and you fill out a group census enrollment form, and you are in business. So our application enrollment process is very, very simplified. And again, the only time you have to provide anything other than that simplified application with the one signature is if you are applying for life insurance over and above the guarantee issue amounts, and there's a very simplified evidence of insurability form that, again, Mike and his team can provide for you. But my experience in the small group market is that if it's not simple, it usually doesn't work. So we've strived to keep things very, very simple. And because we're largely everything's on a guarantee issue basis, we turn things around very quickly. We can issue policies within 3 to 5 days, and we'll have the policy and certificate out to you and your clients in a week's time. And again, if you're applying for life insurance and it happens to be over the guarantee issue amount, well, we're going to issue that case immediately with the guarantee issue numbers. And then shortly thereafter would come an underwriting decision on the balance. Okay? But, the quick turnaround is certainly important to you with your the value add that you're bringing to your clients. And the small group market, the small group program, our Smart Choice has terrific persistency. The life and LTD and STD, they are age rated, 5-year age brackets. When an employee goes from one age bracket to the next, there is an adjustment in his or her premium every 5 years. But what we haven't done is go out with one renewal adjustment since we started this program in 2004. So all the thousands and thousands of small business clients that we insure do not hear from us at renewal. Which is music to the ears should be music to the ears of most of you out there who have to fight battles every year with renewal increases, certainly on your medical clients, often on your dental, with your dental clients. But with us, on our life and disability programs, that's not even part of our lexicon. We don't have renewal increases. And our dental plan, you can, as I mentioned, opt for a 2-year rate guarantee, and I look at every renewal that comes out, and we're averaging, roughly 5%. It might be a little higher, maybe 6% on our renewal notices thus far this year. So even dental is a rather acceptable renewal. But you don't have to spend much time at all with Smart Choice if that's part of your portfolio. Trying to renew that business, because it just stays in the books basically forever. And finally, the compensation. For LTD and life, it's again with our small group compensation is a 15% commission first year, 10% renewals. For short-term disability and dental, it's a 10 first and 10 renewal. But on top of that, Reliance Standard has a production incentive, which ranges from roughly 2.5% to just under 7%, beginning at 7 lines of coverage per year. Now, that's not groups. That's lines of coverage. So if you are thinking, oh, I have a small group that I can bring this to because of the strength of the guarantee issue benefits that Pat just outlined, and you write a life LTD and STD coverage with that small 4 or 5 person group, well, you're basically halfway there to a bonus, because that's 3 coverages out of the 7 you need in a calendar year. And I've often been asked, well, or gotten the feedback that, small business, it's small potatoes, it really isn't worth my time to really get after the small business market. And my counter to that is that A, as I mentioned before, it's a huge market. It's right under your noses out there. 2, there's a crying need for these programs in that small group market. It's just a question of just going in and showing them what they can do and how the coverage how they can protect their payrolls and their lives, and et cetera. With a fraction, less than 1% of payroll, they can protect their payroll. So it really has the opportunity to add to your business. And a little schematic here, that if you were to write 1 small group a month, what it would mean. And over the course of a few years, it builds up for you. And I'm basically taking an average size case, number of coverages per case, basically the bonus, the persistency and how good that is, and that this is just 1 small group a month. If you were to write 2 or 3 a month, then you can do the math, and indeed your business can be enhanced with small group. So in closing here, I just want to emphasize again that there is a market out there that's untapped. There's a need within that market that you can bring a solution to, and that solution is certainly from my standpoint, in the work that I put into this program, is the Smart Choice, Reliance Standard Smart Choice program. And if you take Smart Choice and you bring it to your small group clients and prospects, I guarantee you that it'll help you and your business growth. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Michael?
All right. Well, appreciate you taking the time, but we do have questions that we need to get through.
Okay.
So one of the questions I can answer is asked if it's 2 to 9 or it's 2 to 19, and the product's actually 2 to 19. Their #1 focus happens to be the 2 to 9 market. That's where they've seen their biggest successes, and I think that comes to maybe one of the other questions that I saw is do you have a minimum premium or minimum billing? And I think the answer to that, if I remember correct, Pat, is no. That's why the 2 to 9 is probably your sweet spot, because I know with other carriers that we have, if there's not enough life there, they have to bump up the life rate so they can get a minimum annual payment. Is that correct? Am I saying
no,
correctly?
That's correct. We don't have a minimum. No.
Which means
we're
we
a
don't
small group market. That's
right.
Again, that's our focus, Michael. We we write 2-person groups, and I've seen some premiums that are you get a 2-person carve out for minimum life. I mean, you're not talking a whole lot of premium, but that we're still billing for that. That's our market.
Someone asked here, 3-year ONOC versus 2-year ONOC. What does that actually mean? I'm not sure I'm speaking for this person, but they're probably asking, what do you mean you have a 3-year ONOC, meaning own occupation, meaning you're disabled? So why don't you go just a little bit of detail on that for someone, maybe that's the question they're asking.
Yeah, I mean, that's the ONOC definition within a disability benefit means that, you are considered disabled if you cannot do the material duties of that job that you're doing when you became disabled. And once the ONOC period is over, companies then say, well, you're considered disabled if you can't do the material duties of any kind of like job or reasonable facsimile job. So that 3 years versus 2 years it can be significant with someone that maybe for a company that would say, hey, here's another option, and they may take it. Somebody that can't maybe do what they were doing, but maybe whatever field that is can teach, maybe then they would opt in to teach. What we're saying is that doesn't even come into play until after 3 years versus 2 years with most everybody else in the market.
So at the end of 3 years, they're still unable to, then you're disabled, and maybe then you need to start looking for some other kind of...
Well, I mean, yeah, we don't, but, we help, our claimants, I mean, see if they, if there's a way, because most claimants don't want to be disabled forever. They want to do something.
Sure.
And we, we help them, and if, they could be, doing something that is totally unrelated to what their experience and expertise has been, well, that may not even enter into it, and we would still be paying benefits. It's
Okay.
we're not going to require someone after their ONOC period that was an engineer to say, okay, now we're going to, you become a bartender, we're going to pay you, or we're going to stop benefits because you're doing something that's like, replica of what the type of business that you are doing and trained for. And,
sure.
And one thing real quick, Mike, about claims. I mentioned we started this in 2004, both on the disability and life aspect and the dental aspect with Emeritus. I haven't really had one incident where there's an issue with a claim. So, I'm very proud of the company I represent because of the fact that what we do the best, the very best. We can talk about benefits and compensation and all that, but the thing that we do the very best is be there when we are needed, and that is a claim time. And in 8 years of building this business and growing this business through partnerships like we have with you, Michael, with Insurance Network America, not one issue has ever developed when there was an issue with a claim. So I just want that to get across to the audience.
Well, I think that answers a question. There's a person who asked the question, do agents get involved in the claims? And it doesn't sound like they have to get too involved
No,
if you're not,
no.
if nothing's coming to your level, because usually that's the only time it gets to your levels if an agent's having problems, and
Exactly.
then it comes to us, and then we call you and go, hey, fix this. So
Exactly.
another
I've been
question.
involved in
Yes?
situations in past lives where, yeah, that I've gotten, that came very loud and clear to me. But Reliance Standard, it's been very quiet, and it's just a credit to what these folks are able to do relative to working with a claimant and making sure that their needs are met.
Another question, just off the top of your head, SIC code question. Do you have any idea if restaurants are in or out on your, is it ineligible or eligible industry? Do you have any idea? I mean, we certainly, based on what you told me, managers are definitely in. Restaurants as a whole?
Yeah, restaurants as a whole, no. That's part of that 10% ineligible. But we have.
But you could do all the managers, could you not? Certainly.
Yes.
Which wouldn't be unusual in a restaurant setting to want to offer stuff to the manager. So we just carve out the managers and management could still have all those options.
Right. We
Okay.
write dental for the whole deal, but our life and disability is relegated to a management carve-out only.
All right. Well, I've taken the screen back away from you, and that's all we had today. I want to thank you, Pat, for stepping up today and doing this for us. I just want to remind all of you that are out there as well is that if you have questions, call in here, talk to your representative. If you don't have one, we'll assign one to you. Today we are offering to give you a marketing piece that we developed for you folks to be able to send out to your clients, take to your client. It's customizable. You can put in your name, your agency, your email address, your number. Just give some basic facts that might get somebody thinking about this product and be a little door opener for you. So if you give us a call today, we'll make sure we get this into your hands. Also, some of you would prefer to have this in an email form, let us know. We'll turn it into an HTML, and you can drop it into your email and use it as an email marketing piece. So just let us know. Either way, we're fine. Also, Pat does a good job of getting us things, so if there's something you really desire or wish, let us know. We'll create it. Also, those of you on the line that do business with us, you know that we have 2 major events a year. We do the summit, our top producer summit that we do every year, which we just had in September. It was awesome. Had over 100+ agents from, I think it was close to 30 different states this year. And they were from both coasts and everywhere in between, and it was amazing. It was wonderful. We also do a second deal, which is our Costa Rica Top Producers event. That's for those guys who produce a bunch with us. We do it on a point system. Roughly, basically what we're saying is you need 75 medical lives, but things like STD and LTD, they're ground down a little bit because the premiums are smaller, but they still qualify. And between now and the end of the year, we are doubling all of the credits. So on the health side of things, it's like 38 lives can get you 5 days at the resort in Costa Rica, and it's an awesome time. I'm looking very forward to it. And I will tell you, this was one where you will be able to decompress from all the stress that we get every day in our jobs. The other thing that we have is here is the number. So for any of you who maybe are new on here, I recognize some of the names were on there, but there were some names in there I did not recognize. We just want to thank you for attending. Hopefully this was beneficial to you, and hopefully we can help you increase your ability to make some money and stay connected to those small groups. As we know, this is a great product to walk in the door with and sell other things as well. So we just appreciate your time. So for further information, contact your INA benefit specialist with an easy number, 800-456-7999. I look forward to talking to you. Make a great day. I will be ending this webinar shortly, but for right now, I will leave this up for those of you trying to write the number for the next few minutes. Pat, thank you again.
All right, Michael, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.